Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trending Thursday. You do realize that this was the original thing that we've done for inbound marketing on live stream, whether it was on Twitch, and then we moved it over to YouTube. All right, so with that being said, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Don't come on camera, Manny. Just put it right there. There you go. Thank you. I got some food coming in. I appreciate that. I was hoping to get it before the live stream, but it didn't happen. So the reason why I bring up that Trending Thursday is what started it all is because we just hit the milestone of 50,000 subscribers. I want to say thank you for that very much. And I did put out a challenge to everyone. I want to try to double that by the end of the year if we can make that happen, especially if you like the content that we give here. If you can hear me, I hadn't even said it. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat, preferably with VV Nation, and let me know that we are coming across loud and clear. And we have a guest today. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but we got a guest today. It's going to be a little bit of Q&A before we get into all of the stocks that I've got set up for you. So we're going to give our guest a little time to talk about some things. And I think it's going to be prevalent to what's going on in the market. Cheryl, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a minute unless you hadn't talked a while in here. Strawberry Cookie, glad that you can hear me as well. Jay says the target is 100K. I'm going to try to get to 100K by the end of the year. All right, so with all of that being said, let's talk about what's going on in the market. As you look at the color guard, a lot of yellow, not yellow today, but a lot of green in the color guard overall, still giving us a bullish feel. Stocks hitting and missing earnings affecting the market, especially Tesla and Netflix is pulling the market down today, but they did okay. We're going to talk about that a little later. All of our market timing calls are still in the up situation. And how many of you, how about this? How many of you are still holding on to your stocks that you've made a lot of money on right now, and you're not sure what to do or when to take profits? Type of 1. How many of you right now are holding on to stocks that have made you a lot of money, and with the current market's conditions, you're not sure when to start to pull the trigger on them or what to do? Type a 1 in the room. All right. Curious to know, because I'm thinking that there's a lot of you sold some this morning taking profits. Excellent, Cheryl. I'm thinking that there's a lot of you in that situation. I'm prepping you for tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's 6 p.m. video on YouTube is all about how to manage those stocks that you're currently in to get out of those stocks at the right time. Lee is using one of the techniques that I'm going to talk about tomorrow in tomorrow's video, utilizing the 3 and 8. But I'm also going to show you a different way to use the 3 and the 8 to get out of it as well. All right, so don't forget tomorrow's video, 6 p.m. video. I don't know what I titled it. Joey, what did I title it? Do you remember? I think
I do. You call it though?
All right, something about protecting profits or learning how to protect profits. All right,
When to secure your gains.
Say it again.
When to secure your gains.
When to secure your gains. And I think that that's going to be a video that needs to be talked about, especially right now, because there's a lot of you guys and gals that are in the situation where you're not sure what to do, or you're afraid because you don't want to miss out on more profits. All right. So that's going to be tomorrow's video. Looking at the major indices, only one index is up, and that's the Dow. All of the other indices are down for the day. So let's talk about some news that's moving the market. Let's get into, I don't know if I messed it up or not. Joey's going to tell me in a second. Oh, I didn't. All right. Excuse me. This is big news, all right? Something that I've been talking about for a while. The Fed launches new payment systems that let you send money in seconds. The new Fed Now is out. All right, the Federal Reserve officially launched its long-awaited instant payment service, Fed Now, which allows consumers and businesses to send and receive money in seconds. Back that up, the Fed launches payment system that will deliver paychecks to bank accounts in a flash. That's huge, right? But I still am hesitant in regards to the Fed Now because it gives a lot of federal control over money. That's my biggest concern behind it. So we'll see. I think you let this out. You let people take a look at it. I think people are going to go, wow. But imagine getting your paycheck in seconds. Taking your paycheck and it's in seconds. So I'm just putting that out there. That's big. It's finally out. I thought that they were saying they were going to release it in July. They did release it in July. Now it's active, but I think it's just in the background. I don't think it's actively doing anything. I think they want to show the advantages of having the Fed now and see what it does. All right. I am going, nope, something from a monetary perspective or from an economic perspective, I think I want to leave it right here and I want to bring our guest in. I know that the market is still moving up. I still know that the market on a lot of stocks is pulling back. That's why, again, tomorrow's video is going to be very important in helping you to manage the stocks that you're currently in. And the big news other than that, besides Tesla and Netflix weighing down on the market, which we'll get into later after our guest, is the Fed's going to announce next week what they're going to do. I think it's baked in that it's going to have a quarter basis point raise. And I think after that, it's going to be one more. So we'll see what happens from that. All right. Cheryl says, great video. Oh, there's a type. Which video, Cheryl? But thank you. Zelle works for me in Venmo. I can't get Venmo. Venmo doesn't recognize my bank. I got the Walmart bank. It doesn't recognize my bank. That sucks. All right, so I got Zelle and I got Cash App. I'm a big fan of Cash App. All right, so with that, Joey, put me back on the main screen. All right, and I think another great topic for the current market, especially if you're trying to maximize profits on some of the stocks that you have, Glenn and Sherilyn. What did Sherry Lynn? Did I not say that? Did I not say Sherilyn? I know what it's like because I'm the one that says Glenn with two N's. So I want to make sure I say your name right. Cheryl Lynn. All right. So I got it. All right. I think another great way of managing money, generating income is by way of options. And today we have Ron Wheeler, who is, in my opinion, my options guru when it comes down to options. I think there's nothing that he doesn't know about options, and he has a great way of explaining options that even the most novice of investors can understand. So with that, hit the like button, give a hand clap, type a 1 in the room for Ron as he comes on and he talks about what he's got going on in the world of options that I think may catch your attention. So with that, Ron, hello, my friend.
Hello, Glenn. Thank you for having me on again. I always appreciate it. It's always good working with you. So I really enjoy our Trending Thursdays that we do together. It's a good time.
I agree. So let everybody know what you got going on.
All right. So I'll take a few minutes and I'll talk about what we've got going on. And then like Glenn said, listen, I'm an option guy. I want to open it up to you guys too. So if you have any questions about options, listen, I do the options paycheck. Everybody probably knows that. That's associated with VectorVest. I've been doing it for 8 years. It's our most popular options class. And it really just boils down two trades, which comprise of probably 95% of the trades that I do on a year-to-year basis, a bull put spread and a bear call spread. I love them. I love those two trades because they really encompass the simplicity of how easy options can be. And I love these two trades because they just make trading so easy. Like Glenn was saying, when do you take profits? It's so hard to take profits. And I know this too, because I do covered calls and I do other types of positions where I just buy stock too. One of the toughest parts of trading is, where do you take profits? It's really easy to set a stop and get out of a trade. That's easy. I've always been able to get out of a loser pretty well. I don't know if that's a skill or not, but I can always do that pretty well. But one of the things I love about these option spreads, whether it's a covered call, whether it's a bull put spread or a bear call spread or a bull call or a bear put, whatever the option spread is, what I like about them is they have that maximum profit. You can only make this much money. Now, people look at that and they say, well, Ron, that's not good. What if the stock keeps going up or the stock keeps going down? You can do another trade as the stock moves in your direction. And that's, part of what we teach in the options paycheck about, finding a good bullish stock, finding a good bearish stock. You may do 3 or 4 trades in a row on that stock, but because the spreads that we do have that maximum profit, we can very comfortably exit and then enter a brand new trade as the market continues to go. And we can do this all the way through until the trade or the market decides to say, hey, it's over and it's done now. Kind of like right now, the S&P is down today. It's down, like, I'm looking at my graph here. The spiders are down $1.90, so the S&P is probably down 20 points. I like the spread because it gives you room to operate. Another trade that I'm in right now is SMCI. SMCI.
That's another
You guys
hot
know that
stock.
thing's down. Yeah, it's a hot stock, but it's down big time today. And, I have a position on SMCI where, really, as long as this thing stays above $275, and I got on this thing when it was like 320, I can still make a little bit of money on this thing. And, I have a maximum profit. I know where I'm going to get out. It just makes all of the trading easy. You have a fixed target to get out with profits. You have a fixed target to get out with a loss. It just makes everything a lot easier. And this is why, I rely on these for, like I said, about 95% of my trades. So ultimately, again, you know why I do this. I run the options paycheck class. We're launching a new one that starts in August. If you go to VectorVest.com/OP register, if you want to learn a little bit more about it, about the bull put, the bear call, how we do our income trading, by all means do it. Ask me any questions about options that you want to. I'm cool with that. I'm here for that. I heard Glenn talking about, being conservative right now, talking about, how to protect your profits. Well, this is what options are built for. Options are built for protecting your profits. If you have $100,000 in capital or $100,000 in, stock, buy a couple of SPY puts. That's all you got to do. Buy 3 SPY puts. They'll protect your positions if the market sells off. That's the beauty of options. They were built to help protect you. You own stock, buy a put on the stock. Do a collar trade, right? Sell a covered call and then buy a protective put and lock your profits down. Options are crucial for managing your account, managing your portfolio, and, really also producing a lot of profits for you as well. They can be used in so many different ways. The options paycheck is one thing that I do. I do that for my primary trading income, but, I also do all kinds of other stuff too. I've done this is not bragging. I've done like 5 covered calls this year with my students that have all been successful. We do iron condors when the market's been sideways. We made a ton of money with iron condors this year. It's just, there's so many great opportunities out there for you guys. Like I said, feel free, I'll give you as much guidance as I can. If you have questions or if you have things you want me to take a look at, I can certainly do that with you guys today. But remember, my bread and butter here at VectorVest is that options paycheck. I'd love for you to come in there, check the class out. I've got a couple free webinars next week on it. I got one today at 4:30. If you go to VectorVest.com/OP register, go to optionspaycheck.com if you want to learn a little bit more about the class, if this is your first time hearing about it. But, I've been running an options coaching group now at VectorVest for about 6 years. We've been very successful. We've averaged about 3% per month with the trades I've done. We have those new coaching groups, which are the new trading rooms, which are awesome, by the way, where we can be in there 24 hours a day if we want. I post all my trades up there. I send out alerts now for trades that I get out of and all kinds of cool stuff. So, it kind of really will open the door to you adding options to your trading world. So like I said, you know who I am, you know what I do, and I would be glad if you have any options related questions to ask me because, hey, options paycheck is one thing, but hey, I'm the VectorVest options guy, so please ask away. Let me know if you have any questions about something specific. I'd be more than happy to look at some graphs and we'll talk about it.
All right. Joey, put me on the screen where I can show the OP register. I know you put the link in the chat.
Yeah, go to the page first.
Okay, I'm there. There we go. How to generate 3% per month with options trade. Was that the OP register?
It's not the same as this one.
Oh.
It's not this one. This one's OP register.
All right. Let's go.
You can drag that over if you want.
All right, let me drag that over. All right, so this is the OP register puts you at this site, how to generate three. How many of you, and Joey, I need the chat again. I lost the chat. How many of you want to be able to effectively generate 3% a month? Type of one in the room. I know that that's probably a rhetorical question, but how many of you want to be able to effectively generate 3% a month? Type of one in the room. All right. And if that's and I know that everybody wants to be able to do that. Everybody wants to be able to do that. Go to www.vectorvest.com/OP register. Joey put the link in the room. All right. Joey put the link in the room. And there's a lot of people out there that don't know anything about options. I love the way that Ron teaches options. He teaches them on a level that everybody can learn. Robert says at least 5% with options. William says 5%. Listen, 3%. How many of you, wait a minute. How many of you are making 3% just in general on a monthly basis? That's all I got to say. So,
now we've done more than 3%, by the way, just so you know. I set my targets as a very conservative. We have clients that are doing that, year over year without any problems, doing 4 or 5% a month. I don't know. I tend to be more of the conservative type of person. I'd rather say, hey, listen, on average, you can make 3%, but I know you can do better than that. I like to be, I tend to be more conservative. I'm not the kind of person that likes to, advertise in front of my private jet. And I don't have a private jet, by the way. I'm just using it as as a rhetorical example. But I like to try to be more conservative in my, promises. I'd rather under promise and over deliver. But listen, it's possible. I've had months where I've made 10, 15%, 15, 16%. I've also had months where you draw down 4 or 5%. So it's, I don't want to over promise. I want to give everybody an easily obtainable goal, which is kind of what we do. That's my goal here at VectorVest anyway.
Excellent. All right. So before we move on, does anybody have any option related questions that you can ask Ron right now? All right. You got an opportunity right now. We were talking about the options paycheck course, and that just started yesterday. The webcast that we just gave you the link to is free. Free webcast talks about what the options paycheck is all about and how it works. All right. So with that, Robert says, what's your rules in timing your protective puts? Always a challenge.
And it absolutely is. I personally, and this is old school, I like trend lines. Seriously, if the market breaks either a linear channel or just a good old-fashioned trend lines drawn below the lows, that's really where I like to do my protective puts. You got to be careful, of course, because, if you do too many protective puts, all of your profits of the year are going to be wiped up by buying puts. You can't do that. But I do. I like, whether it's a combination of a confirmed down, that's a good one, but then also a break of some sort of a trend line. So that's really what I use. I have a graph of the SPX that I look at. So I haven't done anything with protective puts right now. And I do protective puts. I have, my portfolio, etc. I haven't done really anything protective wise since about February. So right now, if you look at a graph of the SPX, I have a trend line drawn from the low of March 13th across the lows. And it's kind of, I kind of drawn it a little bit through the lows of May too. But really for me, unless the S&P right now gets below probably about 4,400, I won't do any protective puts right now. I'll hold off. Now, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, which, I don't know about that, you can draw a trend line from the low of, 524. And if it breaks that, that would get you to a point of about 4480. That's what I like to do. I'm old school. Throw a chart up there, throw a trend line on there. If the market breaks a trend line, it's protective put time. And you can do the same for stock.
Joey, I moved the screen. Where'd you go? Sigh. The screen is not supposed to look like this.
You're not supposed to touch anything either.
Oh, is that what it is? All right. So, sorry about that. This is why I have a producer. This is why I have a handler. Jeff says, is the Options Pro add-on required to make that 3% a month?
Not at all.
Okay.
Now, it makes it easier, don't get me wrong. But the way I designed the course, I have a ton of videos, by the way, for like Thinkorswim and Interactive Brokers. Everything that you learn in the Options Paycheck, it's just public domain information. You know, you don't need anything tricky or special for options. You just need to know how to use the publicly available data. Things like, you know, probability or delta, you know, understanding to look at a good chart, to know how to set the trade up using open interest and volatility. These are all public domain things. So, you know, Options Pro has some great tools to make this very fast, but I've been trading options and primarily spreads like I do now. I've been doing this now for probably 15 years. I've only had Options Pro for 8. So no, I used Thinkorswim before this to start my trading and do these spreads. I used Interactive Brokers for a while. I used, you know, Options Express back in the day. If you remember Options Express, I used MB Trading. And no, you don't really have to. It's nice to, I will say this, VectorVest, in my opinion, is a very key component, especially if you're going to trade stocks. If you're going to trade stocks, I'm going to say VectorVest is a must-have because you can pour through thousands of candidates and get good stock candidates in 3 seconds. But for the options part, yes, Options Pro makes things quicker and faster, but it's not required. You can do the same trades inside of your broker as long as you know what to look for, which I will tell you what to look for. You can do it very quickly. In fact, in the Options Paycheck class during the second month, we do live trading. Some of the sessions I do live trading with just VectorVest and my Thinkorswim software. I completely cut Options Pro out of the picture and just do it right from the broker to show you that, yes, you can do it right from a broker software. So yeah, like it's those are my requirements when I put the class together to make sure you didn't have to have some piece of software.
Real quick question. What would be a minimum account balance to get into options?
Honestly, as low as $5,000. For $5,000, you can trade one contract of the S&P, SPX. Now, theoretically, well, it's not theoretical. If you have a $5,000 account, you could really trade 2 or 3 contracts in a spread of the SPX. But what we like to do is limit our risk to 2 to 3% per trade. So you can open up a $5,000 account. Our S&P system, which I'm going to be honest with you, my S&P system that I've been trading for 15 years has been kind of subpar this year. I'm down actually about 4% in my S&P trading this year. Now, I'm not afraid of that. I had a similar year in 2018. I was down like 9% in July, and then finally the market kind of, you know, mellowed itself out. And I ended up making about 12% that year in the S&P. That was my lowest year I ever made in the S&P. Was about 12%. Last year was, I want to say it was like 28%. The year before that was like 40%. So you can get into trading the S&P. It averages over the last 7 years about a 4% per month return on average. Now with that 4%, you're going to lose months. Sometimes you're going to make money most of the months. But, you know, one contract, you know, that one contract on a $5,000 account, you know, could net you 150, 200 bucks a month. Is that all the money in the world? No, it's not. But that's also how I trade options. I don't want to have one trade go against you and wipe out 7 or 8 wins. If you're doing that, you're looking for the home runs. That's not what the Options Paycheck, that's not what my trading is all about. You know, over the last 2 years, my average winning trade is $800. My average losing trade is like $700. So I don't want you out there risking a ton of money. So when I say $5,000 for one S&P 500 contract, you could trade more than one contract with $5,000, but I don't recommend you trading anymore because I don't want you to have these 10, 15, 20, 30% drawdowns.
All right, I got a couple of really good questions here. Strawberry says, I got myself in a pickle. Option 385 Tesla call. I still have it till tomorrow, and I have a put at 250. What's your opinion, Ron?
Well, the 385 call is pretty much done, obviously. When's the, what was the other one? It was a 250. It was a 385 call.
I have a put at 250.
250. And they both expire tomorrow?
It says until tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at a graph here real quick. I mean, other than rolling those things out, depending on where you're long them from, like if you did like a, I don't know, if you did like a straddle or something, or a strangle on them, there's really not much you can do at this point, because it's pretty much over. The trade's pretty much done. So, the market moved a lot depending where you put them in there from, but honestly, with this close to expiration, you're pretty much, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's just too close to expiration.
All right.
Both of those options are pretty far out of the money at this point, so there's not much you can do, honestly.
All right. My Desi artist says, general question. As an options expert, what are your thoughts on low IV volatility and low VIX? How does this impact your options trading?
It impacts it a little bit. Now, the one thing, the low VIX, that's really more, of course, about the S&P 500. The low VIX is going to come across and really put to work the S&P 500 options. However, in a stock, low IV on the VIX doesn't always correlate to a stock, because the primary driver of volatility in a stock is actually the earnings announcement. So right now, volatility is really, really low, as we know. But if I look at stocks like SMCI, they're actually high volatility because earnings are coming up. You look at stocks like Builder. Builder has high volatility right now because earnings are coming up. You look at ELF, right? These are all stocks that I'm trading right now. They have high volatility. So you're not going to see it as much in individual stocks. Now, I will tell you this. When the VIX is very, very high, and then you combine that with an overpriced situation in a stock, it's much, much better for options trading. I call that like shooting fish in a barrel. When we had the COVID shutdowns back in 2020 and the VIX was ridiculous, the premiums on everything were so high, it was hard not to make money as an option seller. So when the VIX is low, it's going to cut down the number of trades that I can pull off, because I like seeing those big premiums or those big overpriced premiums on stocks. But there's still going to be a lot of them, because that primary driver is going to be the earnings announcement. Now, what's going to happen on the S&P, and this, by the way, is one of the reasons that I'm down a little bit this year. I'm down about 4%. I'm on a 4-trade winning streak, by the way, on the S&P, so that's good. This bullish trend that we've had has been very good to me. But the reason that I'm down this year on the S&P, there's two reasons. Number one, the market has been a little more volatile this year. You look at a graph of the S&P and you see huge bars. Every now and then you see this big bar out of nowhere. Well, the problem is when the VIX is really, really low, when I sell an out of the money option, I don't really get a lot of buffer, right? If I was setting up an S&P trade right now, I'm actually going to look at a risk graph here and I'll give you guys some information. If I was setting up a typical S&P trade right now, and I was going to do I'll just call it a call spread because the market's going down today, right? If I was going to do a call spread, I would be looking at selling probably a 45, maybe a 4,600 call, okay? That expires in about 22 days. I like expirations that happen on Fridays, by the way. I would be selling a 4,600 call. That's about 65 points away from the current market, right? And listen, I'll be honest with you. It's a delta right around 35 is where I like to sell options. Now, in a low volatility market, what happens is I only get 65 points of buffer. That's it. If the market rolls past 4,600, I lose on the trade. When the VIX is really, really high, instead of a 4,600, it might be a 4,640, and I get 100 points to be wrong. Now, that's what the low VIX causes me specifically on the S&P. So when the VIX is low, I don't have a lot of room to trade. I don't have a lot of buffer zone to be wrong. The premiums are still okay. The premiums don't change very much on the S&P because, it's always going to hover around 10, 11% in a good market. So I just don't get the big buffer to be wrong. Stocks, I'm going to get a few less stock opportunities because when the VIX is high, that makes option premium high on stocks too. And when you get overpriced because of earnings, it just cements it even more. So I'll get less opportunities on stocks and I'll get less room to be wrong on the S&P in a low VIX market. Still can make money. Don't get me wrong, though.
All right. So with that, man, I'm watching some of the people's comments who have taken Ron's course. Ron is really good at what he does. The course is a great course, but the link that we have for you is for a free webcast. This webcast will give you more information on the options paycheck course and talk to you a lot more about how to really generate 3% per month with one option trade per week. If you are interested in learning more about it, go to www.vectorvest.com/OP register. Again, Joey has the link pinned at the top of the chat. Folks, I need you guys to support him. All right. He puts a lot of work into this course, but again, this webcast is free. The course is a paid course. That's up to you if you want to take the next step. But the first step is a free webcast. It started yesterday. And with that, I want to say thank you very much, Ron, for stopping by.
All right. Thank you.
All right. And taking questions. I love that people did have some questions. You were here for them to be able to do so, and that was great. Do we need to use VV options? What do you mean, Haas? Do we need to use VV options? I'm not sure what you're asking, Haas. All right. So with that being said, Ron, again, thank you for being here. You know, I'd love having you whenever. I still would love to have maybe even once a month an opportunity where we just go over some option questions. Hey, would you guys like that? Type of one. If you would like at least once a month to have an options trending Thursday. Type of one. All right. I'm just curious to know, because if we get enough response, that might be something that we have to really consider, Ron. You know, one Thursday to have an options trending Thursday. For those of you who want to be options delineated, by all means. And then for those people who really don't want to, not interested in options, they just don't tune in that day. But maybe we do put together, you know, with our schedules, an opportunity to do once a month an options trending Thursday. That'd be great. Sonny says quarterly. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Options Pro, not necessary to do SPX system. Recommend it for doing stock spreads. There you go. All right. We'll think about it. All right. So Ron, you and I, we'll think about that. But again, thank you guys so much for welcoming Ron. Ron, thank you for being here. And with that, we're going to continue on with the rest of Trending Thursday.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. William says monthly. Once a month is month. That's monthly, William. That's once a month. That's once a month. All right. All right. So that's one Trending Thursday a month. We might be able to do it. Or maybe we do it quarterly. It all depends on our schedules. All right. So glad that Ron was here. Glad that you guys were here for Ron as well. And that's that. All right. Let's go into the other stories that I have for the day. Here we go. My next story was about Tesla earnings. Let's go earnings yesterday. Tesla. People were asking me, what did I think about Tesla? I thought that they were going to beat, but I thought that they were going to miss revenue because of the price cuts that they had done. They actually beat on earnings and on revenue, but it's down today. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. My other stock was Netflix. I thought that they were going to beat on earnings, and I also thought that they were going to miss on revenue because of what's going on with the strike with the writers and the actors. That's going to affect their ability to put out new content. Netflix and all of these streaming services is all about new content. And so Netflix came through. Tesla, I really thought that they were going to miss on revenue, but they surprisingly did beat on revenue. Strawberry says, I'm happy any chance I get to learn from Ron. And again, Ron is, I'm thinking about trying to get him here once a month. All right, so those are the two big stocks that are hurting the market today. Those were yesterday results. Tesla shares down on slimming margins. All right, but they still beat revenue. Cybertruck concerns. Ooh. We just did a story with Ryan and I. Ryan did a story on the Cybertruck. Investors soured on the initially positive results due to imprecise commentary on Musk and other executives on the company's latest vehicle, Cybertruck, and a planned robo-taxi-ready car. Alrighty then. And then on the Netflix side, Netflix stock sinks on Wall Street, looks for clarity on revenue growth. So they did miss on revenue. The sell-off in Netflix shares follows a 60% year-to-date rally, spurred by the rollout of cheaper ad-supported plan and crackdown on password sharing. I think people are expected a lot more revenue, and I didn't think that they were going to have a lot of revenue in the third quarter, says analysts, and so we'll see what's going on. Those two stocks are weighing the market down today. Let's go move on. My neighbor ordered a Cybertruck when announced. Still waiting, Sherilyn says. All you had to do is put $100 down to hold it. That's it. Me and Joey going to go put our $100 down. Joey, hey, after the live stream, we're going to go put our $100 down on our Cybertruck.
Mine's in. Mine's already in. Mine is already in.
Oh, you didn't hook me? I
already put it down.
You didn't hook me up?
I already went. I put ours both down.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right. At least they're going to be holding them. All right. Let's go change gears real quick. Housing. Housing's still moving. Where you at? Housing is still moving. Can I take it? All right. How about this? High rates, low supply. All right. High rates, low supply, because people are not selling homes. Home prices skyrocket to unimaginable peaks as U.S. homeowners stopped selling out of the fear of higher mortgage rates. If somebody sells their home right now and they try to go buy a new home, it's going to be at a higher rate. So a lot of homeowners are not selling, so it's creating a small supply of homes. So what's happening? Home builders are building. How about this, though? Home builders rally stalled after D.R. Horton disappoints the bulls. The rally of home builder stocks has hit a stumbling block after results of industry bellwether D.R. Horton missed some lofty investor expectations. So we're going to take a look at that. Here's more of Netflix. Netflix says revenue acceleration, primary objective, but will take some time. Okay. How about this is a big story, and I had to reach out to someone in regards to this. Apple supplier, Taiwan Semi, delays the start of the Arizona chip factory. We have a son that works for ASML. He's working in that factory. He moved to Arizona to work in that factory. He had an opportunity to go to Taiwan for a few months, which was a great opportunity for him, but he's part of all of this. And that's huge because that factory employs a lot of people. And it's going to be a big part of taking or relieving a lot of the supply issue in the chip space. This is big, and you're going to keep your eyes on it. And Apple has said that it plans to use the computer chips built at their plant. I think they had locked in the deal to get like 95% of their chips from TSMC or ASML. All right. The company is working to send trained technicians from Taiwan to train local workers to help accelerate the equipment installation. Very interesting story. All right, next story. How about banks? I'm still waiting for the other shoe to fall. Bank, though, regional banks mix as reports roll in. Truist delivers rare sector missed. Okay, there's a couple of stocks. Zion and Truist are in this story. Building equipment to manufacturing chips is crazy expensive. Rick, I don't disagree with you. Tesla margins were low, but I feel it was a pity to lower Tesla. Tesla margins better than Toy. Listen, I don't think that Tesla needed to go through all of this fighting. Hold on. What does it say here? And they said that they're thinking about lowering prices again, which I don't think that they should. That's my personal opinion. I don't think that they should. They want to sell a lot of vehicles. I think you can sell the vehicles without having to lower the prices. All right, and Strawberry Cookie is right. Tesla sold a lot of cars. They had record sales and they had record production. I don't think that they need to lower prices. But another thing, Elon Musk says Tesla will spend well over $1 billion on Dojo supercomputer. I was like, what the heck is that? It's building an in-house supercomputer. I got to look more into this story because I don't know how good, bad, or indifferent that is, but that's a lot of money to be putting in to an in-house supercomputer. Is the freaking computer going to build the cars? Is it going to be an AR? I don't know. So I got to look more into this Project Dojo. But that's a lot of money to be putting into a piece of equipment, a supercomputer. All right, for those of you, next story, and for those of you who are not subscribers to the VectorVest store, all of these stocks I have in a watch list. Cybertruck will have to show its worth by next year. Strawberry, I'm with you on that. I saw a news article that China is way ahead of us when it comes to EV. I don't know what you mean by way ahead of us. They've got Boyd. Boyd is their Tesla in China. They make a lot of cars, and they make them really inexpensive. $11,000 for a fully EV car. I don't think that it's way ahead of us as far as EVs. I don't know. I got to look more into the story, David. I don't know if I potentially agree with that. I'd have to look into that. All right. If you're not a subscriber to the VectorVest software and you want to get some information on stocks that we always have our eyes on, go to our main website, www.vectorvest.com. From that main website, go over to the tab here that says blog. Click on it. We always look at that. I just had a story up here. We got another story. Johnson & Johnson jumped 6% on earnings beat and revised guidance. Does it deserve a buy? If you want to learn, we give you a stock, sometimes two, every day from our blog. It's a great way to see what VectorVest is talking about on some of the stocks that are making the biggest news, even if you don't have a subscription. But if you do want a subscription, 99 cents will get you 30-day trial to the VectorVest software. 99, that's unheard. 99 cents for 30 days. All right, so if you go to our blog, and then from the blog as well, we have swing trading stuff, option stuff. Let's click on the option stuff. How to make money trading options. What are non-qualified stock options? Call versus put options. What is implied? Man, talk about wanting to learn more about options for free. For free. Look at that. How many people didn't know that this was here? Type of 1 in the room. How many of y'all did not know that this was here? Type of 1 in the room. Especially from the options perspective. Igloo says, all the top VST stocks have been red all over the past couple of days, and it's been costing me. I'm down. I'm losing faith in Vector. Oh, man. You want the faith in understanding what's going on with these stocks? Igloo, watch tomorrow's video. All right? You shouldn't be losing faith at all. You shouldn't be losing faith. You want to get that faith back and understand what's going on with these stocks? Watch tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. All right, watch tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. So I see the ones in the room, which is great. For those of you who want to get a little bit more insight on options from a VectorVest perspective, inexpensively, free. Don't tell them I said it's free. Go to our blog, go down to options, and there you go. Potential discussion towards FSD license, maybe. I'm not sure what that is, FSD license. All right. Ron says he's with Igloo. All right. Let me nip this in the bud real quick. For the year, how many people are up for the year? Type of 1. How many people, type of me. How many people are down for the year with VectorVest? I'm going to say with VectorVest. Type of 2. How many of you are up with VectorVest for the year? Type of me. How many of you are down with VectorVest? Type of 2. The reason why I put this out there is because I can sit here and talk to you until I'm freaking blue in the face, which is hard for me to do, about if you follow what we do in VectorVest, that you should be making money. I get this a lot. I'm not making money. I don't believe in your program, or I'm losing faith in your program. I am not judging We've been around for a long time. We give a lot of great information. When I hear that you're not making money, you need to reach out to us to try to help you in understanding what's going on or what's not being done correctly. Instead of saying I'm losing money and I'm losing faith, call us. Talk to somebody. You see all of the people in there that are typing me? That's not me doing that. You see all of the people in the room that are typing me? Now, I see a couple of the twos that are in there. Len, I'm not judging. But if you're not making money with the software, reach out to someone. Let us help you. Let us help you. But overwhelmingly, the me's are in the room. I did that for a reason. Because I can tell you, oh, you da. I wanted the people who are using the software to let you know in the chat that they were making money or not. All right? Again, the people that type the twos, no judging. I am inviting you to reach out to someone to help you. Let them know how you trade. Let them know what you're looking for. Let us walk you through what you need to be doing as an individual investor using the VectorVest software. Folks, that's real. And I don't know anybody else out there, one, who will ask the question and put themselves on the line live. And two, I don't know anybody out there who's offering, let us work with you. Let us work with you. All right. Got off my, I got to do that every so often because it's amazing. It's not amazing. I think people learn differently. However you want to look at it, I think people learn differently, adapt differently. All I'm saying is I want to let you know that you can be helped. And we want to help you. We don't want you to lose faith. We want to help you. So take advantage of it. All right. That was a good question. That was a good statement. I'm never afraid to answer that question, Igloo, ever. I will never shy away from the hard statements, ever. I know that the software works way too much for me to back away from that. I'm never, and if there's anybody ever that comes in and says that, I'll do the same thing again. It ain't me putting all those me's up there. Okay? All right. That's all the news. Let's get into the stuff. Where am I? I don't know. Where's the software, Joey? What did I do with the software? I don't know. Sigh. I lost the freaking software. That was interesting. I'm looking for it. No, that's the homepage. Oh, I know where it is. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. Sigh. Let's go to the viewers tab. Here's my stocks that made the news today. I put them all into the watch list. I already did that because I knew that Ron and I were going to be talking for a little bit. I can only call in the evening. I have trouble with the night crew. Inexperienced, not complain. No, Scott, then reach out to me. Something? Actually, reach out to Boston. I like, and she's not here, is she? Actually, David is here. He said you can only call in the evening. Scott, send me an email, glennt@vectorvest.com. glennt@vectorvest.com. Let me see what I can do to at least put you on the right path with someone. How about that? Glenn with two N's. glennt@vectorvest.com. All right. With that, interesting on the bank. What's moving up today? Bank stocks and real estate. Out of all of the stocks that made the list, only 2 stocks going up. Let this stop do its job. I'm lazy. Nothing wrong with that. Again, you want to learn about these stocks that have been hot and heavy, how to manage these stocks, how to take profits. Make sure you watch tomorrow's video. It's all about that. It's all about that. All right. That's it. So Zion Bank up 9.5%. What was my other bank up here? Truist is down 6%. The stocks that are down today out of my list are really down today. Tesla, Netflix, Truist, Taiwan Semi. That's a big news for Taiwan Semi. That's big news. But I think, overall, you look at these stocks, even though they're down today with the exception of Truist with the relative safety below 1, these are good companies. These are totally good companies. Cashed in on Palantir today, made $28.50. I'm still in my Palantir trade. I'm holding through it, and actually, I'm not even sure if it plays the option. If it does play options, I'm probably going to put some kind of a protective option on it. So Palantir, I'm really long-term on it, even over Snowflake. Less money, but I think Palantir has a lot more to offer, especially in this machine learning world to help with AI. All right. So today I knew that Ron was going to be here, so I didn't do a lot of my other watch lists today. I just wanted to look at the big news stocks, but I also want to look at your picks. So I'm going to take about 10 of your picks today. Well, I had 18. Well, let's see. Let's go take a look at some of your picks today. GFAI, Robert. GFAI. All right, I'll put that in there. STRL, comma, Jeppy. SANM, comma, CVLG, comma, what's Payo? Payo. Daylight come and me one go home. Pay. He say pay, yo. Pay out come and me one go home. Come Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Pay out come and me one go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me one go home. Pay. He said, pay, oh, daylight come. All right, I'm just typing it. Listen, enjoy the music while I'm typing in the stocks. All right, just enjoy the music as I'm typing in the stocks. FTI, comma, SMCI, comma, LMB, comma, PFE, comma, DECK. I think that's already in the list, but it's not. Dallas, Delta's already there. Don't put them in twice. Comma. MVST, comma, AGM. All right, that's enough. I put a lot of stocks in there. Good Lord. So I was singing, and I put the stocks in. Pay. He said pay. Oh, there it is. Pay like come and me one go home. Let's go put on 25 so I can look at all of them. Where's Chuck Barris when you need him? Wow! You think I just got gonged? I just got on the Gong Show. I just got gonged. Y'all didn't like my singing? Ooh-wee. All right. Let's go see. Out of all of the stocks, I got 23 stocks. Look at that. 21, 22, 21 out of the 23 stocks have VSTs above 1. All right. Have VSTs above 1. You guys gave me decent stocks. No sells in here. Thank you for that. Where's VEV? You gave me VEV. Actually, I thought it was going to be the worst stock in here, but it's not. It's not. Way to go, Energy. I thought it was going to be the worst stock in here. It's towards the bottom, but it ain't the worst stock in here. All right. Let's start from the top. SMCI. How many of you, I talked about that. How many of you got like STRL? Let's go look at some of these stocks that are rocking and rolling. All right, let's go take a look. So, Igloo, you still here? Hopefully I didn't scare you away. Igloo, you still here? One of our top VST stocks. It's moving down. And as I look at this, there you go. So Igloo, SMCI, top VST stock, bottom left, top right, beautiful looking equity curve, right? What do you do with it now? I'm going to talk about this a lot more in tomorrow's 6 p.m. video. Candlestick pattern, dark cloud cover, follow through. Maybe I take some of this stock off the table. 1. 2, I got 3 and 8 exponential moving averages. Maybe when they cross end of day, that's a good opportunity to take it off. 3, we've got a stop price on every stock. Now, it'll be a lot of give back for it to go below that stop price, but it's there. 4, VST is starting to fall. 5, The stock is still a buy recommendation. How about if I'm looking at a buy recommended stock, if it moves from buy to hold, that's a good opportunity to get out. So there's a lot of different things that I can look at, Igloo. And SMCI hit you hard yesterday. Big hit. But overall, it all depends on when you got into it, Igloo. If you got into it back here, you're great. I love using the 3 and the 8 to get in and the 3 and the 8 to get out. I'll talk a lot more about that tomorrow. But you know something? If I got in here early, I'm still okay. Now, if I got in later, I might be feeling the hurt a little bit. And if that's the case, then I got to use some sense to get out of it. What's a dark cloud cover? See that the candlestick right here is higher than the close, like a dark cloud. And it's a red candle, bearish candle next to a bullish candle, a dark cloud. That's what that is. Igloo says, I'm a new member to the VectorVest family. Not a problem. Not a problem. And it did get hit yesterday. But now you got to make a decision. Where's your tolerance for pain? If your tolerance for pain says you need to get out of the stock, then by all means, Igloo, do that. By all means, do that. And you know something? You live to fight another day. It may still be one of the best stocks in the database. But if it starts to pull back and I can see some hints, knowing that the market's looking toppy, knowing that we need to be prepared for the July high, knowing that the Fed's going to announce that, so many things could affect the market adversely. You got to make that decision. All right. Let's go to the next stock. Wow, look at these stocks. You know, there's no wonder why people are still holding them. Here we got a bearish engulfing, follow through. The 3 and the 8 haven't crossed yet, but that may not be a bad opportunity to take some off the table, especially if you've made a lot of this profit. Next one, ACLS, bottom left, top right, broke through resistance, good buying opportunity. Yike, holy smokes, it pulled back. Notice that today, the 3 is crossed below the 8, bing. Might not be a bad opportunity to take that loss off the table. Next one, UFPT, bottom left, top right, bada boom, bada bing, fell, found the floor, went back up, woo, gotta go. Wow, that sucks. Notice that today with the big move between the 3 and the 8, maybe, and it's another technique I talk to you about tomorrow, instead of using the 3 and the 8 exponential moving averages to cross, why not, when they pull apart, use the stock's price falling below the 3? You want to know more about how to do this kind of stuff and lock in your profits? Don't miss tomorrow's video. FTI, nicely moving up. See how the 3 and the 8 keep you from being anxious? Fell. Woo, way to go. Stop that resistance, though. Falling again. Keep your eyes on that. And Decker moving down, end of day, 3 and the 8. All right. So, again, how many people, real quick, how many people found that useful in answering the questions on what you should do with these stocks that have been running like crazy? Type of 1 if you found that useful. Type of 2, again, if you think that I was just yapping my trap. And I think that tomorrow's video is ideally suited for today's market right now. You guys need to know what to do with these stocks because a lot of you are like, I don't know. And then you're going to end up giving a ton of it back. And then you're going to say that it was our fault because it was one of the best stocks in the database. It is one of the best stocks in the database. But what's going on in the market? What's going on with the stock? What's going on with the candles? What's going on with the moving averages? What's going on with... There's so much that you can utilize to help you lock in profits on these stocks that have been rocking and rolling. All right. Go ahead. Please add timing signal to show that there was profit for these following. Oh, Jeff, I got that. It's in tomorrow's video. I'm not taking all the thunder away from tomorrow's video, Jeff. Oh, I talk about that. Woo-hoo. Oh, I talk about that. All right. I'm not taking, I gave away a little bit of the lightning, but I didn't give you all of the thunder, baby. You want the thunder? You got to watch the video tomorrow. All right, Joey, I'm done. No, I'm not. Some of the other stocks that you gave me, no, I just changed my mind. I'm not done. All right. Some of the other stocks that you gave me. Let's go look at some of these graphs real quick. Let's go look at some of these graphs. Look at 77% on GFAI. That had to be news driven. View the stock graph. View the stock graph. Man, I got all hype today. I don't know. Woo! I'm sweating. I'm a little hyped today. LMB, same scenario, folks. Same scenario. Watch that 3.8. Watch that 3.8. Note last night's view said to be prepared for a pullback due to MTI at 1.59. Michael, again, I talk a lot about that in tomorrow's video. Another reason why you need to be cautious. But I love the stocks graph. It's telling you, you know something, you might be wanting to take some of that profit off the table. CVLG, same scenario. No real deal right now except for a down day. Other than that, you're fine. And some of these stocks are going to tell you that you're still fine. I'm not going to tell you not to take some of that off the table. You still are fine. All right. MVST, look at the pullback. Look at the 3.8 hold. Hit a new high. Spinning top. Be careful. Next stock, Quad. 1 day down. A little bit of a shooting star pattern with follow through. Bingo. That might tell you something about pulling some of that off the table. Now, when I say pull off the table, that doesn't mean close the whole position. That means take half off. Take a quarter off. That way you still are riding the stock in case the market still has some upside. Next one. Woo! That was a good point to get out. Right there. No, right there when the 3.8 cross. I'd rather you get out there than still be holding it now. Would you have still made a profit? Depends on when you got in. But that's huge. Somebody said you got to pay attention. There it is. Pedro said you got to pay attention. You do. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Instead of just sitting back going, well, VectorVest told me to buy it. I'm going to just keep holding it. Why? Down day on Meta. Look at that. Cross below the 3 today. That might be a good opportunity to get out. Or, again, take some off the table. Nail. Big hit. Good. Googly muggly. Yeah, on a day like today, I might take some of that off the table, if not all of it. PayPal. It's curling over. Still, the 3.8 is still fine. Still, you are below the 3. A lot of give back today. I might think about taking some of that off the table. Lamb and Weston, food prepared. Channel, back and forth. I would have to play this off of the retracements from resistance or the bounces off support, but I do like the move. It's still in a channel, though. Still in a channel. All right. Where's my mouse? There it is. Next one. Payo. Leveling out. Nothing tells me to get out of it. A down day today. The 3.8 is still good. Nothing telling me to get out of it. It's above my stop. It's about. I say just let the stock talk to you. Be a stock whisperer. Good gravy. This is a freaking volatile stock. Energy. Big jump today, though. Big jump today. All right. VectorVest is great candlestick class. We do. Do we not? I think it's in the moving average course. I think it might be in the moving average course. Is Jordan will beat him because they are very few. What is that, Pavlev? What are you talking about? I don't even know what that is. Sorry, it better not be political. Jeppy. JP Morgan Equity. New 3-month high. Nothing telling me to get out of it. This is one of those stocks that's not telling you to get out of it. You're fine. Volume is there. I'd leave it alone. Amazon. 3.8 look like they're about to cross. I might think about taking some of that off the table. I wish Glenn would do a show or part of one on candlesticks, what they meant. It might be a cool video to do. Joey, you think that might be a good... How many of you would watch the video? That's the other thing. You guys want me to do videos, and then when I do the videos, you don't watch them. Some of them are like, I don't want to watch that. So I don't know if I would do a video. Jeppy's got a big dividend. Ooh, I want to see something about the dividend. Graph layouts. Dividend. Let me go see. Where's the dividend? Dividend safety at 58. Oh, it's an ETF, so that's good. Dividend growth at 21. Let's go put on dividend. Dividend And I want to see the yield. Dividend yield. Wow, high yield. 10.42. Dividend safety at 58. Listen, I like that. Not only did I like the graph, but the dividend behind it, I like that. Who told me that? Yeah, I'm liking that. I like that. And how expensive? $55 stock? That's not a bad play. I like that play. I like that. Keep that on your radar. All right, PFE. Let me go back to my other layout. Side. Let's go put it on the trade. There we go. PFE. Look at that. A drug company moving up. It's moving on up. After it came off a level of support, that may not be a bad play. Keep in mind what's going on in the market, though. Market's direction is going to affect about 80% of the stocks in the market. But if this is news driven by way of a drug company, this may not be a bad place. Breaking through a level of resistance. Want to see if it can hold above that. And the last stock is GFAI. This had to have been news, up 70 some odd percent. Partners with Concord Security PTE Limited to launch a new robotic security solution in Singapore. All right, that's fine. Let's go look at, let's close that. Let me go look at it. Do I want this? Way overvalued, not fundamentally sound. Even with the move, RT is below 1. This is a trade. This is a trade. I like the news, but it's a trade. I like the news, but it's a trade. All right. Now, Joey, you can put me on the final screen. All right. I'm done. So where's Joey? See, why does Joey do this to me? Fine, I'll do it myself. Sigh. Hey, did you like today's presentation? Yes or no? And you can put a no. Again, I won't. If you thought it was just boring, then you can say no. Today was a lot of fun. We had a special guest on. We had you ask the Ron about options. We talked about some stocks that are making the news. We looked at your stocks. We did a lot. I'm so glad we had this time together just to laugh or just to sing a little song. How many likes did we get? 66. Let's see if we get 100 before we leave. All right, don't forget that even after this is done, share this content, folks. We got to 50,000 subscribers. Share this content. All right, that's how we're going to double and get to 100,000 by the end of the year. We need people to come and look at our content and keep coming back. All right, so Joey put what's that link for, Joey? Now you put a link up there. What's that link for? Oh, you weren't here when I needed you, but now you're here to put a link up there. What's the link, Joey? For the live stream. Thank you, Joey. All right. Thank you, Joey. All right. Hey, I got to go. I'm off tomorrow. Make sure you support Ryan tomorrow in the mobile live stream, the mobile app coaching. He's going to be filling in for me tomorrow. Make sure you support him. Make sure you support him. Again, let's grow this thing to 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Only you can make that happen, especially if you like the content. Especially if you like the content. All right, let other people know what we do. Joey said you taking too long. Joey, did you say I was taking too long? Wow, Pedro can't pin it. All right, folks, you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. Aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii and to the Bahamas. Bon dia, salam. Shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks, see ya.